I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Every August in Washtenaw County, the ground rattles, the windows shake, and all eyes are to the sky during Thunder over Michigan. Being a pilot representing our country takes discipline, perseverance, and is not for the faint of heart.
Growing up, I always wanted to join the military, kind of like my dad, and I always wanted to be a pilot, so combining the two led me to go into the Naval Academy. Fortunate enough to get a pilot slot. You always have a little bit of question, like, can I be successful doing this? And you just kind of roll the dice and dare for greatness.
When it comes to this type of flying experience, it's a new challenge for sure. And flying close together is not something we're used to or comfortable with. But I don't think you'd even apply to this team if you were fearful.
The U.S. Navy Blue Angels and the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds work together to bring awe-inspiring maneuvers as they soar as fast as the speed of sound.
It is around-the-clock jet training in order to put on this demonstration safely and make it look second to none.
But honestly, we share so much in common. Julius is talking about the training. We basically have the exact same training. In fact, towards the end of our training season, we go out and visit them in El Centro to learn best practices, share war stories, if you will.
We're always looking to improve our processes, and being able to share our best practices and how we do things is invaluable to putting on the absolute best flight demonstration that we can, that both teams can do for the American public.
The 2023 Thunder over Michigan Air Show takes place on August 12th and 13th. Visit yankeeairmuseum.org/airshow to see the full lineup and for ticket options. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. The city is home to more than 160 must-see parks with scenic views, places to play, and some top-notch facilities. See all that Wurster Park has to offer to the community during this park peak.
Wurster Park is a 5.5-acre park close to downtown Ann Arbor in the Old West Side neighborhood. The park can be accessed from three sides: West Madison from the north, 3rd and West Mosley from the east, and Edgewood Place cul-de-sac from the south. There's a 500-foot paved path on an incline that connects all the entrances and many of the park's features. This is a mixed-use park with a variety of amenities and attractions that offers something for all. There are several native pollinator gardens, a playground, sand volleyball court, horseshoe pit, as well as an informal soccer field. The park provides picnic tables, benches, and many grassy areas to relax, observe nature, or enjoy a picnic. Much of the park sits on a hill, which allows you to see a partial skyline of downtown Ann Arbor. For more, visit a2gov.org/Wurster.
The 15th District Court has gone digital when filing civil cases. Learn more about e-filing in this month's City Roundup in 60.
At the 15th District Court, we are going live with the MiFILE system, which is an electronic document filing system. Just like you do your banking electronically and you do a lot of your purchasing electronically, you'll now be able to file pleadings, file documents with the court electronically. It's only for our civil cases. So it's our general civil cases, landlord-tenant, and small claims cases. It'll be easier for our patrons to use our services, and it will make us more efficient.
Local entertainer and filmmaker Drew Hopper is always working on new projects, creating a rich library of genres for viewers of all kinds. Since 2021, Drew has been working on Organized Crime Paranormal, a mystery series with otherworldly dimensions. Joining me is Drew Hopper, co-founder of Knuckle Sandwich Studios and co-creator of Organized Crime Paranormal, here to talk about the much anticipated season 3 premiere. Welcome back to the show, Drew.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate that.
So why don't you talk a little bit about, Organized Crime Paranormal in general, the premise of the show, and how you and James, are you still working with James, by the way,
Yes,
came up
correct.
with it?
Yes. Yep. So we started this series about probably a good 2.5 years ago. We started developing it in 2020. We released the first season in 2021. The series evolves around a young man. His name is Robert Keene, and he goes through many obstacles in his life that are both tough and very emotionally triggering for him, and he has to figure out a way to get out of those. And so, in despite of losing many people that he loves from certain things that are coming into the world, as we call the paranormals, it's so he teams up with a police force where James comes in as his character as a detective, and we see him go through different various sequences of like Robert and James's character Sam go through moments of emotional they have very touching moments, but they argue a lot, and they have their relationship is very different from each other. Like Sam wants something for Robert, but Robert doesn't want what Sam wants to give, and their relationship turns to be a very complicated storyline. And so beyond their parts of their characters, there's also the paranormal aspect, which comes in. And this new season, we're finally taking chances and putting people and a way bigger cast, as you know, and as I'm not sure if you know this, but many people obviously know that in 2020 and 2021 and even 2022, when we were working on the series, we were shooting it in the middle of COVID. So it was very much a huge problem, and we didn't have as many locations as we do now. So this new season, you're going to see us filming in cafes and on the streets of Saline, and there's big things that happen. So there's lots of new things and newer locations that we have boarded onto, and I think it's very much going to be a little bit different this year, but it's also going to be very twisted as well. And I think that's what comes with the series, is the twists and turns, for sure.
That's very exciting. Why don't you talk about, working with James? I know you guys work together on a lot of projects, but like this project specifically, what makes you want to keep digging deeper with these characters? Why are these characters so meaningful to you?
So Robert and Sam alone are as I mentioned before, are very two personal characters. They have two sets of eyes on two different things. And I think that storyline, as far as I'm concerned, after 2 years, in this new season, we're going to start to see them come together a little bit more. And we're going to start to see them kind of working piece by piece as a team, and not so much working apart, but working as working on cases and things that haven't been easy for them to do in the past. So now they're evolving, and I think the much anticipated part about Robert and Sam's character arc is reaching to this point where they can work as a team. Once they get to that point, they can really start to understand. Now, I'm not going to say that at the beginning of season 3, you know, it's going to still be a little rocky because after season two's finale, there was a big twist at the end, as you know. So obviously there's things that we have to overcome, but there's also things that we are going to see with them as this new season progresses. The first two seasons had 2 episodes. This season has an extra just third. So we have 1, 2, and 3 episodes in this season. So we're giving audiences not just a little bit more, but the episodes are going to be a little bit longer as well. So we're kind of exploring a little bit more of the story. But Sam and Robert definitely at first will go through some minor obstacles, but they definitely have that true friendship for each other that everyone should have. And there's moments in this season where, you know, it's like I'm not gonna lie, like I had to learn how to cry a little bit on screen for this season because there's a very touching moment between Sam and I. I'm actually not in the scene with him, but we filmed separately at 2 different times. And I just remember filming a shot on my own, and and I won't dive too much into it, but he's looking down and he's reading and watching something that I sent to him prior, and he hasn't seen this. He doesn't know that it was sent to him. So he's looking at it as if he's never seen this before. And it's just this emotional, touching video of me describing how much I value his work ethic and putting in so much time and effort to become the detective we know and love today. And it really just is something I think that everyone is going to love. And once we get to that point where they can team up, it'll be much better. And I think fans will love where this season personally ends off on a very twisted note as well. But it's very different. Like I said, there's many more people involved. The cast is like probably 10 people this year, so it's a lot bigger. But yeah, no, it's fun, and we are just so excited, and I can't wait for what's to come and for at least what people can see of it. I mean, the release date is hopefully going to be in September. That's been the goal for the last few months. This season has been pushed back quite a bit, but because of the details and because of COVID and because of time constraint with having so many more actors and actresses being involved, there is that time that you have to put in, and you have to base time off their schedule and to get them in when they can. And so it really is fun. And I will say we've wrapped up filming pretty much everything. Everything's done. Editing is where we're at now on the stage. So submitting it for release is going to be the next step. But I'm excited for everyone to see it. And it like I said, it's a very emotional, action-packed, twisted, filled season that just is not one to miss. I mean, it's got so many different things in it that we actually had to leave out because there were certain things that we wanted to make sure that it didn't get all clustered, because if there's too many things, then you get kind of like, oh,
Sure.
like, we want to push that further out. But we do have an ideal ending for the series as well. So we hope that the series will continue over the next maybe year or two, and then we'll figure it out where it goes from there. But if it does, but as of now, we're just kind of taking it easy and having step by step going through the footage. I mean, I looked in my camera roll of things that we shot. It's like 456 videos of just unedited footage so far. So we have a lot to go, but there's going to be, with me, I tend to be very on point with this stuff. So I get it done quite quickly, but also very efficiently. So I make sure that everything is done in the right way, but as it should be. But I will say it's fun, and the season is going to be awesome. It's gonna be great.
Well,
But-
why don't we take a look at the season 3 trailer for Organized
Mhm.
Crime Paranormal?
Yeah.
Who's that? Can I help you, sir?
I'm looking for Robert.
Who are you?
I'm his father.
I've had enough. We gotta cut bait here and move forward.
Look, we gotta talk, all right?
About what?
You mean to really tell me that you don't know? You have to decide what side you're on. Huh? What side is it? What side? I'm on the side of the law.
You've never faced anything like this.
Let's get it done.
I just want what everyone wants. Peace. But peace comes at a price. And that's a price you're gonna have to pay.
This has been going on in your family for generations, and you have no idea about it, do you?
Here we go! I'm not gonna put the only person I have left at risk! Nothing is what I thought it was.
I need an answer in the next week.
We are back with Drew Hopper. We just watched the trailer for season 3. Why don't you talk about, obviously you can watch season 1 and 2. You mentioned it before. It's an easy watch. It's not like a super long series. Like you said, it's only a couple episodes. They're only about 10 minutes a piece. I rewatched the series leading up to this interview and enjoyed myself. Do you need to watch the seasons, or would you suggest watching them? Or, if you want to just start tuning in season 3, your thoughts on it?
So I would definitely say start from the beginning, because there are, even though it's an independently made show and we did it with a low budget in the middle of COVID, there are things that lead up to season 3 that are very there's like the smallest details are the biggest moments in season 3, and the smallest details from the previous seasons also make connections in season 3. So that's why you have to really pay attention, because there's nothing that someone can't easily miss. It's like it could be like James and I in the first scene, where we mention my father, who I haven't seen in years, and we're in the middle of the woods talking about him, and we're just sitting on this log, it's snowing, and and we're talking about him, but it's in those moments when you find out certain details that you'll find out both in season 2 and then in season 3 that there is a very very big connection that happens, and it all flows nicely. And we had to make sure this year, especially with us giving it a newer look and a newer and a bigger vibe, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
We had to share with the world what we couldn't do before, which was to give them newer newer actors, newer locations, things that we just hadn't reached the point too before, like in the first season, we were lucky enough to be able to film. We actually filmed in my uncle's office. We made his office like a detective room, which was kind of cool. But like that, we shot that in the middle of COVID. But when we weren't filming, we had to wear,
Yeah.
masks, and it was just like COVID started easing out a bit, and we actually shot, as you know, season 2 in Elk Rapids. Part of it was shot in Elk Rapids,
Yeah.
which is cool. There's very specific moments in that season and season 2 that are very, I want to say the twist in that season, it leaves off on one of those moments where you'll just be like, oh, wait a minute. Because then you'll go back to season 1 and you'll be like, wait, so how is that person here? Or how is that person there?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you'll go back and realize, wait, but how can that be? It's not time yet, or it's not, the moment shouldn't be happening, but there is a reason for it. And I think that you'll find that in season 3, there is a reason for everything. And we cover all of the things that have been triggered in the first 2 seasons with Robert and Sam, and the sheriff returns, which is really cool. He is there. And that is not a flashback. So that is a little hint of what I can give you. But it's
currently you can watch the show on Tubi. Is it still available on Prime?
Yes. So you can watch it on Tubi and Amazon Prime. Tubi, it's completely free, which is cool. You can just go on there, and if you haven't signed up, it's a free sign up or whatever. You can just go on there. Shout out to Tubi. No.
Tubi's great. I love Tubi.
No promotional material here. No, but you can watch the first 2 seasons on there for completely free, and it's the viewership has been awesome so far. The show on IMDb is getting great reviews, and we're just happy to continue the story and to see where it might lead. And we do know that after this 3rd season, we're getting closer to the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say where exactly that's going, because that'll spoil a lot more than I should already.
Well, I'm sure we'll be back talking
right. We'll talk about
4,
that when the time gets
before
there,
season 4 comes. I mean, it's a great show. It deserves all the publicity you're giving it. People should really check it out. Like you said, Tubi's free, so watch season 1 and season 2. You can get through it super quick. It's not like, they're not hour-long episodes. They're 10 minutes,
Right. Yeah.
But we're almost out of time. So before we go, why don't you just tell people why they should just check out the series in its entirety and stay tuned for hopefully the September release of season 3.
Yeah, of course. So season 1 and 2 are collectively they are the very first 2 seasons and the biggest project I have gotten myself into in many years. And it is something very close to my heart. And I think that creating it for the fans, the family, the friends, it's all for you guys, and it's all for the people that come and watch it. And it's all for what we want to share with the world. And even though we're the one that's coming up with the story, we do it for everyone on the outskirts of, around the world, the people who see it. The first 2 seasons are great. They're twisted. They're awesome. And they're ones not to be missed. And I would highly recommend checking it out on either Tubi or Prime. But season 3 will be even bigger and better and heavily twisted. And I can't wait for you all to see it.
Well, thank you so much, Drew, for coming on the show again, and best of luck to you with the show and all your projects. You're always working on something.
Thank you so much.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.